MSNBC axes Joy Reid show as ratings yo-yo. Who they're bringing in proves they've learned nothing. So Reid is expected to leave the network entirely. What will she do? I guess she could be like some, HR department could hire her to do like DEI for it or something. It's got to be something race hustling related because I don't think she has anything else. I mean, she's been on MSNBC just to be a race hustler, just to be a divisive racist ideologue. So MSNBC is axing far left host Joy Reid's 7 p.m. show, The Readout, as ratings flip-flop in the wake of President Trump's second inauguration. But if the batters on deck to take Reid's place are any indication, the network has no interest in embracing an ideological shift, which is why I just wonder, what's the point? They're not going to do any better. I mean, woke is on the way down. Race hustling is, on the way down. Race communism is on the way out. Again, what's the point in even replacing them? I mean, it's just going to be some other woke race Marxism robot. So what difference does it make? It's not going to improve the rate. The problem is not the personalities. The problem is the ideology of the channel now. What do we got here? Let's take a look at the ratings. All right. Evening cable news ratings, Wednesday, February 19th. So let's take a look at a one-night snapshot here. Okay, so this is the coveted 25 to 54 demographic. So what do we got going on here? So let's find, okay, so 7 p.m. slot, Ingram, 386,000 in that. That's not the entire audience. That's just the key demo. Something called Out Front on CNN. I haven't even heard of that. 105,000. Joy Reid, 98,000. When you think about that, for that most important demographic, 98,000 is the best that she can do for a national show. That is poor. That's not good. I mean, I know that, there's, cord cutting, cable news is being increasingly squeezed out from the new media landscape, but that's very poor. I mean, compared to, look at Fox News, Ingram, 386,000. That's almost 4 times what she's getting in that time slot. That's very bad. There are many independent content creators who get more viewers, who get more people in that demo than Joy Reid does. They don't have a $1 billion company behind them. So let's get to some of Joy Reid here. Let's see. Libs of TikTok. Joy Reid is mad that Republicans want to fight racist discrimination against white people. Joy Reid is a racist. So let's just take a look at some of her greatest hits here.
In Project 2025, folks like Miller, Vance, and Trump want to nationalize their long-term goal of putting a stop to what they call anti-white racism, which is just another way of saying we're sick of America being held accountable for actual racism.
Her show should just be called Anti-White Racism, or maybe just Race Hustle. I don't know.
They would force the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, which is responsible for enforcing federal statutes that prohibit discrimination based on race, color, or religion, or sex, disability, or national origin, to refocus, moving away from what they call affirmative discrimination and ensure, quote, lawfulness, which essentially means protecting the people who've had access and opportunity all along.
So she's mad that the people whose job it is to stop discrimination based on like race, gender, all of that. She's mad that they're being told to stop discrimination based on these people aren't even coherent. I mean, here's the thing. You can hardly blame them. Why even bother being coherent? Why even bother making sense? Her audience doesn't give a shit, right? They just want to be told what to think. She knows what they want, so she just gives it to. She knows they're not going to think about it. She knows they're not going to think about what she's saying. They're just going to nod and they're just going to stew and be angry, right? And I don't know, maybe film themselves shaving their head to fight fascism or something. Let's move on to the next one. JV the Great says that I'm starting to believe that Joy Reid is a CIA agent paid to constantly sow division and hatred within the country. Well, why would he say that? Let's take a look.
They can drive out the brown people and the black and Asian people, or just sink them into the same apartheid they've created in Texas. And they will. So
did you get that? Texas is an apartheid state, according to Joy Reid. So when you're talking to a leftist and they seem totally insane, and delusional and like they're living in an alternate universe. This is why, right? This is why. This is what they're eating. This is what they're being fed. How about this one from Josh Dunlap? Joy Reid racistly calls a white person mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread. She does this all the time. She talks about racism all the time, and I think she knows a lot about it.
Got to be honest and keep it real. This is not the pick that I expected that she would.
Don't forget, she says, let's be honest and keep it real. Don't forget that. She's keeping it real here. Real from Joy Reid's standpoint.
Would make. It did come down to the final three, as we understand it. And I thought she would go astronaut. Keeping it real. He, to me, would have been the safest, most conventionally safe pick. White, super white, like, mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread, right? From a border state, he could have made a strong argument for
Wonder Bread. Mayonnaise, Wonder Bread. Yeah. There are things you could say that would get you absolutely kicked off of the internet forever. Certainly, you would not have your own show on a cable news channel if you were to use a stereotype about any other group of people. But this is the suicidal strategy of MSNBC with Joy Reid. Let's see. Liz Churchill says racist Joy Reid is canceled. Let's see what she's saying here. I bet you it's going to be really anti-racist.
What really stands out about white anti-vaxxers in particular is that they act like their freedom has been taken.
Well, it was.
What really stands out about white anti.
It was. That was the whole point, right? White. And listen to how she says it too, right? This is.
What really stands out about white anti-vaxxers in particular is that they act like
white anti-vaxxers. Well, what about the non-white anti-vaxxers? Because there was lots and lots of them. Of course, she doesn't want to talk about that. I guess maybe they had internalized white supremacy or something. Libs of TikTok. Joy Reid has been fired. Turns out calling your political opponents racist Nazis every night for an hour doesn't get viewers. All right. Well, it certainly doesn't get the viewers your advertisers want.
To begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election where one side stands for freedom while the other meets
the Republicans, right? Republicans stand for freedom. The Republicans do. The ones who are like for free speech, they stand for freedom, right?
It's the textbook definition of fascism.
So you guys, and you're the textbook definition of fascism, right? The ones, the people, the party of mandates and censorship and government censorship. So you're the fascists, right? So strange. I mean, the more you watch, you just start to think, just evil, just an evil person. So who's she being replaced with? And when you see who it is, you just wonder why bother. Just leave Joy Reid in. I mean, it's not going to get any better. Let's see. So Michael Steele is one. It's going to be who are they? It's Simone Sanders, Alicia Menendez, and Michael Steele is who's going to be replacing her. And I get why bother. This is not going to improve the ratings.
To his ear. Was it caused by a bullet as opposed to, as some reports from those on the scene, other reporters, saying that it was actually shards of glass from the teleprompter itself, not the bullet. So there are.
And as it turned out, it was exactly what it looked like. The most obvious thing. So is he going to be better than Joy Reid? Well, I don't know. Has he got anything else to say? Let's see.
What do you tell the parents of those people, those young girls who were killed? This is absurdity. The preponderance of these people, Michael, are male.
But what is the difference between an illegal immigrant who unfortunately engages in that activity?
And we don't like that. I want to be clear. We don't use the term illegal. So
yeah, we don't.
Undocumented individuals.
That's sweet. They're illegal aliens.
Undocumented. They don't use illegal. Well, illegal would be accurately describing reality. So they're obviously not going to do that, right? Again, I'm not seeing the improvement here. What do we have here? So here's Simone Sanders. She's going to be joining in as well. Let's see.
Hey guys, what's up? We have a meeting with some tribal leaders in the Vice President's ceremonial office, and I need some more lemonade. I have the pleasure of serving as a senior advisor and chief spokesperson for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Again, so him and Sanders, hold on. and her are going to be, and another one, Menendez, are going to be taking over for her, for this person. And how much is it really going to change anything?
I think because you have a green card and came through the right way, if you're brown, you may not stick around. I don't think they care whether you have a green card or not. They're pulling people out and taking people out of this country, whether you like it or not, or whether you voted for them or not. Surprise. Yeah.
So according to Joy Reid, it doesn't matter if you're illegal. It's just brown people, and you're all going to get deported somewhere. Based on what? Based on nothing, of course. Based on the fact that she's just a lunatic. She should just call her show. Her show should have just been called "White People Are Evil." Right? Just had it right there. Right? So it's just a show about that. Her ranting about that. Her weird, delusional, apocalyptic fantasies.
I think Black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize Black communities, Black businesses, and the Black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Know someone voted that way. Do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up.
So I love that you asked this question because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going into a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what?
And they're against you because Joy Reid told you so. That's cult behavior. That's like a cult strategy. Isolate people in the cult from their friends, their family, people who might have an antidote to the idea pathogen that they're suffering with, they've been infected with, right? That's what cult leaders do. One of the worst people in network news is now gone. MSNBC seems to have learned nothing. MSNBC continues its downward spiral. Let's see, following closely behind CNN. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.